Right, so we begin our journey, ladies and gentlemen. I am back with another episode, and of course, in this episode, we've got some really interesting players getting linked with Arsenal. But that's not just my only thing that I bring to this channel. Well, I always try to improve myself. Yeah, when I'm in the mood of it. So one thing I would want to explain it to you guys: the importance of the youngsters that are coming from the academy. We have a superb stat that you'd love to get the hold of it, the hang of it. Also, we're going to talk about Mikel Arteta's recent, what does he think from the team? What does he think about the team, and what does the the relationship between the team and the fans? Everything will be discussed in this episode. So stay tuned and watch the video till the end. If you seek daily Arsenal content, best place to be, man. Let's just go for it. So the first news is that this is a stat which is according to CIES Football. Clubs with most active academy products in Europe's top 5 leagues. You can see top of the table is Real Madrid. Yes, Real Madrid. And if you can see the number of people, 42 players. I'll show you the whole chart part by part. The second is on the list is Barcelona, again with 42 players. Third is Olympique Lyon with 32. Rennes and PSG have 30 youngsters. In the pipeline, Arsenal, Saint-Etienne and Valencia have 25 players each. Chelsea, Manchester United and AS Monaco are in that. Now your question would be, where is Ajax? Well, I just cleared it out that it's going to be top 5 leagues, so that's why Ajax is not there. If you can check out the training index, of course, and the matches that they've played and the level they are at the moment and the age structure, you'd love where Arsenal are at the moment. But amongst the English clubs, Arsenal are top of the list, but Chelsea are not far behind. And you know what? I respect the way Chelsea have organized themselves. That's really beautiful of them for a club. So you can definitely check out the football talent scout Jacek Kulig on Twitter. If you want to know which are the other clubs as well, the whole article is already there and you can check it out. So yep, that is that, ladies and gentlemen. And as we speak about different stuff, let's talk about Aaron Ramsdale, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Aaron Ramsdale says, for me, it's to stay in the team week by week and keep producing good performances, which the team and staff are happy with. I am loving the connection I've got with the fans, but ultimately they aren't the ones picking the team. If I keep the manager happy, I'll be doing well. Fantastic, man. Fantastic. Everything else is actually secondary. And that's how it should be, man. That's how it will be as well. So moving on, let's talk about Papa Wenger. So Papa Wenger was asked what he would say to players after a humiliating defeat like the one Manchester United suffered versus Liverpool. Wenger said, "You can say a few words. The first thing is to protect the club and the team in the press, not to come out with statements that create an even deeper crisis. You know you are in a crisis and you know you have a lot of work to do to get the mentality right in the team again, because it's a massive blow. Overall, you just try not to make it even worse than it is. It's always your responsibility." So yes, Papa Wenger with the words of wisdom, the golden words. Whenever the professor opens his mouth, it is golden words, of course. So the Who Scored Premier League Team of the Week is already there, featuring Emil Smith-Rowe as one of the Arsenal players. You can see, of course, if you don't have Mo Salah, there's something wrong with you. So there you go: Emi Martinez, Zanka, Thiago Silva, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Kovacic, Mason Mount, Salah, Emil Smith-Rowe, Phil Foden, and of course Joshua King. Oh, he was phenomenal, fantastically phenomenal. There's nothing more that I would want to say about him. So moving on, so Mikel Arteta opened up about the impact of the age of the players, the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyangs, Lacazette's, Partey's, what they, how much they were crucial for the victory against Aston Villa. Mikel said, well, the group age of the squad is a little bit closer, so they're experiencing most of the same things. They talk a lot about it. Then we have the senior players that they have to lead and they have to take that role, and they are doing that in a different way. Leading is not telling someone what he needs to do. For me, it is being able to transform that person, and not just with words but with facts as well. There are players now that are on that pitch that they are able to transmit something and change certain behaviors and attitudes in other players. That is contagious, and for me that is leadership. I swear to God, Mikel is crazy, man. And talking about Aubameyang, what does he think about Aubameyang? He says, I have never seen Oba transmit what he is doing now. Apart from the goals, the celebrations when they put in the ball in the net. Do you see the way he runs? The purpose he has to press the ball, and when he takes it, his movement, his link, how is leading the game. That is when he is changing the rest, not when he is static and then he puts the ball in the net. I prefer this over. For me, it is a click. It is a combination that realizing that his role has to go well beyond that. What was good or very good 2 or 3 years ago with his role in this team at this club, it is not enough. He had to take a step forward. I would say the same with Laka. Look what he is transmitting, not just doing or playing. What he is transmitting, for me, that is really, really important. They lead by example, and not only there, but as well at the training ground. Certain things, a role they could have had 3 years ago in the squad, now it has changed. That's the beauty of Mikel Arteta, what he's actually, he's just saying what he says. And talking about the excellent atmosphere against Aston Villa, Mikel said, I was extremely pleased with that because I can now see that our supporters are starting to identify with what the team projects. And that is very pleasing because at the end of the day, we play for them and you have to find the right purpose to do so. I think the players felt that connection behind them. It wasn't just when scoring a goal, it was right from the beginning and right to the end. And if we can generate that every single time we play at the Emirates, it's very powerful for us and very difficult for the opponent. The support builds confidence in the boys. It's incredible that we are the youngest team in the league, and many of the experiences they are going through, they have never experienced before. So the more positive they are, the more confidence that will build. Superb. Let's talk about the lone watch. Harry Clarke scored a goal for Ross County. They lost 3-2 to Livingston, but hey, he scored a goal, yeah? Fantastic. Well, Bruce Anderson and Orin Bailey then hit back to give Livingston the lead at the break. So that was that. Hector Bellerin played the full game as Real Betis beat Valenciano 3-2 at home on Sunday. Also, that was the case. But William Saliba, I already mentioned that. Matteo Guendouzi already mentioned. Lucas Torreira played 81 minutes for Fiorentina in their 3-0 win over Cagliari this weekend. Dan Ballard played the full match as Millwall beat Stoke 2-1 in the Championship on Saturday. Matt Smith played 83 minutes as Doncaster beat Cheltenham 3-2 at home on Saturday. Dinos Mavropanos 1-1 draw. They played the full match as Stuttgart drew 1-1 with Union Berlin on Sunday. Nicolai Mola played 13 minutes for Victoria Cologne in their 1-0 win over Dortmund 2 on Sunday. Reece Nelson was also in action this weekend, playing the closing stages for Feyenoord in their 3-2 win over Cambuur in the Eredivisie. That is also the case. That also we bring into the table. So, Arsenal fans have seen Alexander Isak run riot against Atletico Madrid, and they want him to be signing to Arsenal. They want him right now. They want him. So, some Arsenal fans have took to Twitter to say something like that. So one of the Arsenal fans said, Arsenal need to be smart and buy Isak now to replace Oba, same way Leicester did with Vardy and Daka. Another one said, Lautaro's class, but I really want someone aerially dominant. Don't think Osimhen is realistic. Isak, Tony or DCL for me. Another one said, goal and assist for Alex Isak against Atletico Madrid. Hope we are still linked with him. Another one said, Isak, welcome to Arsenal. Another one said, Alex Isak or Amin Ghouri needed at Arsenal. Absolute ballers. I'll read one more. One of them said, when Arsenal are ready to let go of Aubameyang, I'm putting my faith in Isak, not any Balogun guy. I beg. Oh my God. Did you just say that? Oh my God. That was, wow. Strangely put. So, according to Alex Lacazette would be an amazing signing for Newcastle United in January, according to Kevin Phillips. He says, I think he's a great player. He would be an amazing signing for Newcastle. He needs to play week in, week out. I get the impression he feels he's not loved at Arsenal. Perhaps he feels he does not get the credit he deserves. In my opinion, he's a class player. If you played him week in, week out, you would reap the rewards. If I was a Newcastle fan and Lacazette came in, I'd be very excited. I know he's blessed with a lot of talent. He'd be a great signing in January. Well. Jose Mourinho wants to bring in Dani Ceballos to Roma. Well, yes, Roma manager Jose Mourinho is reportedly interested in signing Real Madrid star Dani Ceballos in January. All the best. Finally, a news that I don't want to tell, but I have to because, yeah, that's that. So Arsenal have reportedly registered their interest in 29-year-old Real Betis midfielder William Carvalho with Mikel Arteta wanting January reinforcements. According to the report from Fischages, Arsenal are in the market for William Carvalho. Mikel Arteta is apparently looking for a new midfielder who can provide cover for Thomas Partey during the second half of the campaign, with Real Betis star emerging as an ideal option. My answer to that? No! Oh God, no! I know that was cringe, but yeah, it was from The Office. No, my heart says no, William Carvalho, please. How the hell is he just 29? He looks 49. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So with this, I'd like to end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you seek daily Arsenal content, best place to be, consider subscribing. I will see you in the next one. Until then, cheers. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.